This is Court TV's Inside America's Courts. From our New York studios, Greg Jarrett and Jamie Floyd.
Hello and welcome. He is a mysterious martial arts master.
But he may have found his match in the U.S. government. He's accused of scheming to avoid a fortune in taxes, and now in addition to being a master of martial arts, he's accused of being a master of fraud.
And some former members of the school claim they were brainwashed into paying the price.
Now, before I begin, I want to thank my grandpa, because if it wasn't for him, I would never have heard of this cult before. John C. Kim was in all definitions a cons man. Researching about him was difficult. Everything from his early life to the business he ran was a struggle to get information on. But this is some background from what I was able to find on John. Kim was first able to fool others to pay him for his martial arts skills by telling him that he was a migrant and that he won huge martial arts tournaments that either did not exist or that he didn't win. He propped up Chung Moo Quan, which is what he taught, by claiming that it was the superior martial art and that he could get you to a third-degree black belt in a year for the low cost of $25,000. Now, so far, nothing about this seems cult-like. I mean, scamming and lying to people is obviously wrong, but it doesn't have a cult-like appearance. Well, actually, many of his followers actually believe that, quote, during 11 weeks of trial, evidence showed that Kim held a cult-like status among a large group of loyal followers, who regarded him as their spiritual leader, as well as a master of physical martial arts. That quote comes from the Moo years. This is so crazy to me that he was able to make millions of dollars, and that he was just able to manipulate these people into telling him that he was basically Asian Jesus. It's just and I think this is very rewarding, how he gets caught in the end makes everything he's done so rewarding in the end. Also, as well, the first thing I want to talk about is the prices that he charged and the money. On multiple occasions, like the one I just said at the very beginning, Kim would charge tens of thousands of dollars for his courses on the special occasions. One woman named Vivian Francis would charge $47,000, and quoted, Francis believed that she was intimidated and even brainwashed into giving the Do organization $47,000. By the way, the Do organization is also the same as the Chung Moo Quan. I don't know why they had two different names, but if I ever say Do, just remember they're the exact same. Also, keep Vivian Francis in mind. She'll be important later. And in another case with a man who did not want to be named, who was a former instructor of the Chung Moo Quan, say that he gave Kim $30,000. The next part I want to talk about is the actual stuff they taught. This had to be the funnest part during my search. I first got in contact with a man on YouTube to ask him about what he learned during his time learning Chung Moo Quan. This is how he responded. At El Potato, to pass on what I was taught is considered stealing from Grandmaster and his son, Master Kim. I can say that we conditioned every part of our body to take a great deal of punishment. Every defense move is also an attack. You can find similar training in Los Angeles, Chinatown Shaolin martial arts schools. First, no, I don't think I'll be going to Chinatown in LA to learn about this stuff. And second, I then responded by asking him who this Grandmaster is with me, being very intrigued. And this is what I got. Grandmaster Iron John C. Kim. That's all for me. Good luck in your venture. So I'm thinking this guy is a douche by not telling me who this guy is. So I decided to go on with my venture. Thankfully, it was very easy to find information on Iron Kim. I didn't have to go to a second page, go to any odd Russian links, anything like that. So the first link that appeared for me was a site called umyoungdo.com. I finally got a break. Now, remember I said earlier, Umyoungdo and Chung Moo Quan are the same thing. And oh boy, this was just amazing to read. So the first thing that I saw was that they hold a week-long seminar once a year in July, and the prices they give are just mwah. As you can see here, the prices are, well, pricey. I don't really have a second opinion on these prices, so if someone knows if these are good or bad, I would appreciate it if you paste it down in the comments. But like, come on, $5,400? I think it would be an understatement to say that it's a bit on the pricey side. But that's because they're the exact same as Chung Moo Quan, who has been known to charge ridiculous prices for their courses. I think it's all coming together now. Well, before I can go on, I do have to give credit to the Umyoungdo for their cool logo. I mean, come on, look at it. It's so cool. Okay, now back to the cults. I found many websites talking about the Grandmaster. He was said to have mastered the flying sidekick. One stated that they were told he could make camera film from just thoughts or images from his mind. So now I'm starting to think, were they worshipping John C. Kim, or were they worshipping the Grandmaster as their spiritual leader? Think about it. They both shared the same name in Kim, but I couldn't find an image of John C. Kim in his 20s. Also, John C. Kim claimed to win martial arts that he didn't win in Asia, and the Grandmaster claims that he won the All-Asia Championship. But here's the thing. There is no such thing as the All-Asia Championship. There's not one piece of evidence online that there's ever a thing or that it ever existed. I'm stuck, though, because this is all about the Grandmaster, but I think there is one last person I could turn to. Russell Johnson was one of the first people to report on the Chung Moo Quan cult, and was the star in the interview I showed at the beginning of the video. Russell Johnson made a whole podcast just dedicated to talking about his experience in the cult. While I was looking at his YouTube, I found a playlist about a bunch of old news talking about Chung Moo Quan, and one caught my attention. The video was titled Chung Moo Quan, the attack on Kurt Chapel. And what was interesting was that at the beginning of the video, the news broadcaster was talking about the death of a man named Robert London, who was a part of the cult. The news broadcaster stated that he went missing, but his body was found. I went on a deeper dive and found Russell Johnson's LinkedIn. And there was something about Robert London and his last name, which, when I searched, I found an article from the Chicago Tribune from like the 90s. Now, from what I found from the article, the police came to two conclusions. One, that Robert London was linked in the use of selling cocaine, but I do find this hard to believe since his wife described him as a kind and helpful man who loved his family fiercely. So the second conclusion is that Chung Moo Quan killed him. Russell Johnson stated that, quote, "I would later learn that Master Kim had also ordered an attack on me once I landed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, but the instructor refused Kim's orders, saying that it was a bad plan," end quote. This makes sense that Robert London would have been killed because it's been shown that John C. Kim has sent orders to attack people, and Robert Johnson also stated that, quote, "At the court hearing in Harris County, Texas, an instructor told Chapel in the hallway of the courthouse that he would die for Kim, and he vowed to kill anyone who tried to interfere with the schools or come between him and Master John C. Kim." So it makes sense if Kim, learning that someone left the cult, sent out one of his loyal followers to kill London. There's also past evidence that people would leave the cult, that they would be attacked, and that there was already an instructor willing to kill John if ordered. Sadly, we might never know the cause of Robert, but I'm willing to bet that it had to do with his connections to Chung Moo Quan, considering all the evidence. Before we wrap things up, I gotta talk about my conversation with my grandfather. This is what the whole video was about, and I've already said this, but I do really appreciate my grandpa for even bringing this up, that, even bringing up that he was in a cult, because without that, I wouldn't have known about it and gone on this deep rabbit hole. So I had a phone call, and I was just asking him questions about his time in the cult and things he experienced in the cult. And I took down some notes, so I really hope you enjoy what he went through. They would only stain the belt blacker, not give you a brown or green belt. So this basically means that when it was time for you to advance to your next level or belt color, you wouldn't go from like white to yellow to orange. No, they would just I believe it was like ink, and they would just ink the belt. So that probably didn't cause any health concerns. 2. They learned how to rip ears off, crush the heart, and take out eyes. I don't think I'm gonna press my grandpa on this. I don't really want to find out. 3. John C. Kim could pull a bus with his mouth. I couldn't believe this when I heard it from my grandpa, but he said this was true. And I don't know why he would ever lie about this, but just take it with a grain of salt. 4. They praised Kim as a god and would pledge to him at the start of every class. So basically, the way my grandpa was explaining this was like, in school you have to sing the Pledge of Allegiance every day. That's basically how it was, but it would be like a pledge to Kim. And also, they would have like pictures of Kim all throughout the dojo, like they kind of do in North Korea. 5. Try to control the students and what they did in their normal lives. So what my grandpa was saying here is actually backed up in other videos that people have done with their experience in the cult. And basically my grandpa was saying that when you got in, they would try to control your social life, who you talk to, your love life, anything like that. 6. They would charge ridiculous thousands of dollars prices. This, again, is backed up by many people who used to be in the cult. So yeah, this is just further proof. 7. Try to make my grandfather be more into the cult on multiple occasions. So anytime my grandfather would go to the dojos, they would like press him into like being very into the cult, right? That's the whole thing he was talking about. They were very into John C. Kim and very into like controlling your life. 8. They didn't care if you were bleeding. They still made you fight or spar on the mat, no matter what, except they wouldn't allow you to go for the face. So this was saying that basically you could hit anyone anywhere in a sparring match. If you go down, that's on you. Just keep fighting. 9. People would be rolled out of the classes on stretchers. So yeah, this goes with the other one. If you're allowing people to have a free-for-all, you're probably gonna need a paramedic, right? And that's the next part as well. They would always have a paramedic on standby during sparring matches because of how bloody and dangerous these sparring matches can get. And 10. To reach the ultimate black belt level, you would have to take down 7 other black belts, which I believe there was also like a time limit, like you had to do it in 3 minutes, which Okay. Okay, bud. Whatever you say. Sadly, karma caught up with Kim. Remember Vivian Francis from earlier? Well, she actually took Kim to court to get him and his organization labeled as a cult. The main reason she brought them to court was, quote, "They promised me they were going to revise the ownership of the school and make me part owner of the school. This was just first of a bigger series of problems Kid would face in the future." In the mid-90s, Kim was found guilty of conspiracy to commit tax fraud, which, for a side note, if you're making millions of dollars and charging people $900 to $18,000 per course on multiple occasions, the one main thing you should do is probably pay the IRS. With all of this, Kim was found guilty and was sent to prison. Sadly, the Young-do, aka the Chung Moo Quan, are still operational, but at least you know better now. Now, what's the moral of the story? It doesn't matter if you kill, kidnap, or start a cult, but if the IRS finds out that you didn't pay them, they will go to hell and back for your money. Kim died at the age of 82 on February 4th, 2016. Now, I'm not saying he deserved to die, but he did get his comeuppance, so that is a positive. I would also like to apologize. I haven't uploaded since, let me check. I think it's been almost about half a year now. Yeah, if you excluding my Twitch stream of Double Dash, I haven't really uploaded since February. And this has to do with multiple things. One, I'm lazy, and two, I really just didn't know what to talk about, and I'm surprised I still have people subscribe to me, considering that I haven't uploaded in so long. So, yeah, thank you for watching this, well, from what I'm just done recording, almost 20-minute video now, but it's probably gonna be longer. So, yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Have a nice day, and don't join a cult.